do you connect? How do you connect? I think
connect?
people listening to you might be like, I'd love to connect. I have no idea how to connect. So how do you connect?
So if you've never meditated, this is where I always try to bring people to understand. The basic level is start with quieting the mind. The mind has static. Static is just the background noise that's always happening. Da 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 da. It happens so much that people don't even pay attention to it, and they don't even know how to quiet it. So where I start typically is a place called Anapana. Anapana is just breathing, and it's training wheels to get to a deeper level. But first you got to learn how to quiet the mind, and when the mind runs, bring it back to center, right? Like those are the skills to be able to do. And once you have a defined, quiet, centered space, connecting with the rest of your body is a piece of cake. You just pay attention to it, right? You can touch different spots in your body and connect with your hands. You can do it mentally. You can do it in a lot of different ways. The key is the mind is like a lake, right? And the more waves on the lake, the harder it is to read subtle energy. So when you can quiet the mind and find that center still place, anywhere you focus on will give you much more information. That's the basics. How do you get there? You practice, right? You practice. I recommend 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week. Doesn't matter if there's 3 days in a row, just get into the habit of sitting and creating space for yourself. You deserve it, right? You deserve to live in a world that's not always chaos. And that world exists in yourself. Chaos is always going to happen outside. Yeah. Learning how to have that center in the middle of chaos is a personal, individual responsibility, right? Like we all deserve to have that inner peace. It's there. We just don't practice.
Yeah. One of the things that I do is I'm super hectic myself. Like I could easily live a very chaotic life with 2 kids and a job and like trying to build up a side business. But one of the things that I do is when I go out to walks in nature, which I do a lot of, I just look at nature. And instead of being stuck in my mind, I just observe nature. I look at trees, I listen to the birds. I try to take in what is the temperature even outside. So being present and aware of that moment and being in that moment rather than in my mind. And it's so easy for the mind to just run away again, right? For the thoughts to start to trickle in. And when that happens, don't judge yourself for it. Just say, oh, well, there goes those words. There goes the mind. And it's so busy once again. And again, recenter, just like you were saying, recenter yourself. Or in between meetings, I will take a minute break and I just look outside and I'll just look and stare at a tree. Because when you think about the tree is the true essence of presence. It's so content. It is so still. It is so magical and magnificent. So I think that we can even learn a lot from nature and just allow yourself that 1 minute. If you can't give yourself 15, give yourself 1, because sure. Do it 15 times a day, that's going to also add up, right? And it's going to absolutely help your energetic beingness, right? Your energetic state. So I love the fact that you're giving some like really practical tools in terms of like, how do you get started? Because I think getting started is truly the hardest part, because once you're like somewhat on your way, then the path starts to reveal to you and you start being led towards what you should be doing next.